Welcome back to Let's Play Higurashi Tsumihoroboshi. That's the chap. Oh man, temperature these days is fucking atrocious. I have to have my fan turned away when recording because they just like it would ruin the audio. So we last left off hearing about Rena's backstory with her parents, which was a bit depressing. Much of a picture, don't worry. Oh yeah, word of the day. Well, we'll get to that after the tips. Today I went to a swimming pool with my mom. Uncle Akihito came with us too. Wait, is this really a picture book? Did she draw in it? I don't like him because he's sometimes mean to me, but he's very kind and funny old man. He told me to call him Daddy for that day because he was going to play with me at the pool like he was my daddy. Well, I was certainly foreshadowing. My mom called him Daddy, so I did too. Why did some people do that? Uncle Akihito looked very happy and gave me a lot of money. My mom looked very happy and it made me happy too. I went to play with him again. I hope my dad can come with us next time. Oh, how naive. Rainy days are on their way. I wonder about that. Yeah, some frickin' rain, surprisingly, in quite a while. But, you mean in a different way. Or maybe it really was rain as well. I opened the window, placed my cushion nearby, and prepared to enjoy the weather. But she came over and disrupted my peaceful evening. What? She always ruins my time of solitude. Trying to think who this could be. You look pleased. Oh, that's right. You ate lots of your favorite sweets today. This girl loves sweets more than anything. I like them too, but I can't eat like she does. It'd give me heartburn if I ate the amount she ate today. She seemed to be very happy, and so I'll leave her alone for a while. I'd been making my favorite hot and salty food for the past few days, so she must be quite pleased today. It's a very fun day for me too. I just wanted to enjoy the memory of the excitement I felt today by sitting here quietly enjoying the sunset. And when I looked up at the sky, I saw some thick clouds forming there. The wind was a bit cooler than usual. It might start raining soon. People say that when deep-sea animals come up to the shallows, it's a sign of a big earthquake or a tsunami. I saw a very rare fish that dwells in deep water in the shallows today. Just as the ancient stories of sea monsters say, people hate deep-sea creatures and tend to interpret them as omens of a disaster. It didn't matter if they showed up alive or dead. Ah, I said something interesting just now. It's cut. I mean, I've played for this before, but I didn't remember that bit of information. So, is it true, like, if deep-sea animals surface is usually just like, oh, shit's about to hit the fan, yo, be prepared for earthquakes and shit. It's like, I think it was called a goblin shark. You don't really see those at the surface ever. So imagine if you're just like, ooh, how fascinating, oh my god, a goblin shark, what a freaking weird looking, oh shit, that means, oh shit. I said something interesting just now. Even if they showed up alive or dead, it was an omen of a disaster. Oh, it might start raining soon. Yeah, I know, you don't have to tell me. I'll get the laundry. I grabbed the basket and went outside to take the laundry. Clouds were getting darker. I normally like rain, but I didn't think I'd enjoy it today. I could not gather what perspective that was from. It could have been Rena, but it could have been someone else. Wait. Oh, I think it might be. Yeah, I think it might actually be her. Maybe. Or maybe it was Rena. Or it could have been whatever. My laptop's fan is going a bit mental. What's that all about? I think I can't hear just because my fan is on. Just like I can hear both fans. I guess we're going to Keiichi's perspective again. Hey, good morning, Rena. You're late today. You're just early today, Keiichi-kun. It's nostalgic, isn't it? I mean, they always meet at this spot, not to, as I've pointed out before. But they always would meet up with her in this very spot, and that was how the arc began, wasn't it? Now, where the frickin' hell did I put that dictionary? Oh, it's over here. Dictionary, what will be the word of the day for today? How about sonomama? Sonomama. Phrase, as it is, straight away. Why not? I'm not trying to put aside the fact that I'm always late, but it feels good to defeat you once in a while. Oh, I slept in this morning. I couldn't sleep last night. Oh, I know that feeling. Until, like, literally just last night when I actually got any sleep. It's like, it's a pain in the ass. You got hay fever and the frickin' heat. Makes it hard to frickin' sleep. Oh, you too. Same here. I was still feeling yesterday's uproar. It took me a long time to go to sleep. Yesterday I had a lot of fun with my friends and went home still riding that high. I was too full to eat dinner. I kept talking with my parents about the great time I had over the past few days. I was so pumped up that I couldn't go to sleep. Kinda sounds like my little kid. But given that Rena seemed to be the same way, I felt better about it. No, I felt better isn't the right way of phrasing it. It should say, I'm glad to know that we shared I'm glad to know that we shared the same feeling. Rena went treasure hunting after I left. I'm sure she found many adorable things. Went home and talked with her parents about how great the day was. If only you knew, Keiichi, if only you knew. Hey, Mi-chan, good morning. Oh, you're here early. Better watch out for the pigs falling from the sky. Oh, you're here. Better keep them pigs watching from the sky. I know I usually make you wait for me, but do you really have to say it like that? Keiichi-kun was unusually early this morning. The day is full of miracles. You're one to talk yourself. It's going to be another happy day today. I had fun the day before yesterday. I had fun yesterday, so I'm going to have fun today for sure. I'm happy and Mion is happy too. Of course, Rena and my other friends are equally happy. I'm not afraid to say it, and I wish these happy days would last forever. Who thinks like this? It's like, oh yes, foreshadowing. Foreshadowing. My mindset's a bit different from Keiichi. It's more of, don't acknowledge whenever you're happy or in a decent mood, because the second you do, your mood goes to shit. Hey, Mion, what are we playing today? What, for club? I don't know yet. Rena, do you have any ideas? Let's see. We've been playing athletic games for the past few days, so I'd say something not athletic. You're right, that's a very good point. A club is not only about athletic performance, is it? Is it? God damn it, I keep freaking getting the character wrong. Of course it's not. Our club members have to have brain, skill, and brawn to boot. So why don't we play some tabletop games today? Everybody was early this morning. We could enjoy our walk to school for once. After a while, we started talking about the upcoming festival. They told me that the festival is called Higurashi, and that it's the biggest event of the year in Hinabizawa. Yesterday, my relatives gathered at my house in Okinawa, and they started talking about you, Kei-chan. What, me? What did the great people of the Sonizaki family talk about? Well, my uncle Yoshiro is the store manager of Angel Mort, and he saw your performance yesterday. He likes you now. So I started asking the elders if they had heard of you, and I found out that most of them did. They said you're famous in Hinabizawa. Famous? Doesn't sound like they meant it in a good way. I'm probably more infamous to them because of the punishments you made me do. It's not only that. They said that you blend in well, that you're full of energy, and that you're a little bit reckless. They said it's rare for a young man in this era to have all its qualities. They were very impressed with you. I felt a bit embarrassed to know that people I haven't even met were speaking well of me. And so they want you to do something at the Higurashi festival. You like to draw people's attention, don't you? Hey, don't assume things and don't decide anything about me. How do you know I'm a quiet, lonely guy who loves to be alone? Lonely guy. You mean Cherry Boy, don't you?
What's a cherry boy? Oh, Keiichi-kun, what does cherry boy mean?
Whoa! Stop talking about nasty things. Ladies don't talk about things like that. We really were still feeling the after effects of yesterday. Mion and I made a lot of noise teasing each other on the way to school. You know what? I'm not even sure what they were alluding to there. Rena watched us and laughed happily. Suk and Rick-chan were already there when we arrived at school. They were also full of energy. Tomita-kun and Nakamura-kun went too. From that I can tell that they had a good time yesterday. Everybody has been having a great good time, really. In Hinamizawa, everybody is happy. Nothing could possibly go wrong. It hasn't even been a year since I moved here, but... what is it? Well, I'm just glad that I moved here. What's wrong, Kei-chan? You're being sentimental.
I understand exactly how you feel. You feel like everything is perfect, that you've become happy since you moved to Hinamizawa. I think this village has some kind of power to make people feel that way.
Are you happy right now?
Yes, I'm happy every day here in Hinamizawa. Every day is great in Hinamizawa. No, that doesn't really go with the jingle at all. Yeah, me too. Hey, don't leave this old man out in the cold. Let me in on the conversation too. The sky was clear and the fear of hidden clouds were pure white. The cry of the cicadas was telling me that summer would be coming earlier than usual. But it's freaking June! It's like the official, like, the summer not officially start till July or some shit. I don't get that. I always kind of assume, well, it's like spring. It starts on a specific day, but it doesn't really feel like it makes much of a difference, really. Maybe it does. I don't know. Either way it goes, it's bloody freaking hot. But Higurashi is just around the corner. I'm sure we'll have great fun at the festival too. There will be more and more fun days to come, I'm sure of it. Summer is just around the corner, even though it's probably kind of, there already. Do 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 do. Posterized effects on the backgrounds. It is posterized effect, isn't it? I'm reminded of Himatsubushi a bit when he had a tour of Hinamizawa, and it's just like, but this one has a more somber feel to it because of the music. While in that one it was like beep 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 beep. Oh, no wonder why it has a slightly somber feel. Because we're switching back to Rena again. The last class of the day was finally over, meaning that it was time for club activities. I was sure it would be fun. I couldn't wait. I was like rewatching parts of my New Year video yesterday, as I occasionally do, because, well, I liked how it turned out, and I liked some of the music that I put together there. And it's like, it just reminds me of that, because the Matsubushi bit that I put into it, just like, it was just like exactly like that, where the kind of pans, But then Mia-chan received a call and told us something had come up and that she had to go, so we didn't have a club meeting today. Of course. I was really looking forward to it. There was nothing I could do. But I could at least chat with Keiichi-kun on the way home. It'll be fun! Keiichi-kun sometimes says mean things, but he's very funny.
When I chat with him, my depression goes away. She even frickin' acknowledges it. It's like, oh yeah, she's a happy, bubbly person, but she's suffering with quite a bit of depression. That's kind of a common occurrence, really, isn't it? When I suffer from depression, you probably wouldn't know that just from my videos alone. Just like, no, but you sound, kind of, okay, you're kind of cynical, but not depressed. But I am. I got depression. It's like, it's one of those things I find, like, talking about anxiety feels easier to talk about than depression, personally. But yeah, depression's one of those things that's quite common, and, like, you could, like, be talking to someone who sounds really happy and bubbly, but inside, very, very, very depressed kind of thing, Depression is a kind of, like, it's hard to really describe depression, really. But, it's just like, just because someone appears happy doesn't mean they are actually happy. Wait, what did I just say? Am I depressed? I have so much fun every day, and I'm as happy as I can be. What did I have to be depressed about? Well, it was obvious. Because of Rena-san, my father's happy now. Before he met her, he was like a lamp in broad daylight. Honestly, he was like the living dead. But after he met Rena-san, he started smiling like he used to when he was living with my mother. He enjoyed talking with her and started going out with her. You could probably say they went on dates. Now he looks 10, no 20 years younger. Rena-san gets along with my father very well, and she's very kind to me too. There's actually no reason for me to hate her, but the bitter memories of my parents' divorce and my many regrets were gradually eating away at my heart. That must also be a difficult situation when, like, a kid experiences their parents having a divorce and then for their parents to move on to other relationships. Is it okay to accept that woman? Rena-san might be the same as how Uncle Akihito turned out to be. Is she the enemy who takes my happiness away with her very existence with or without bad intentions? Am I going to sit around until everything collapses again? Should I fight the enemy before it's too late? Rena-san comes to my house a little too, obviously. I kind of wonder, that one tip where it was like, said, maybe it's Rena's perspective or maybe it's someone else's. I think it could have potentially been from Rena's perspective. Could have been, because it feels like it could be one of the two, honestly. It's either her or Rena. Since my father started letting her stay the night, many of her belongings have turned up in the house. It's like when they were like talking about sweets, for example. I kind of feel like it kind of just like, yeah, it should have been obvious that's one of the two characters' perspective. My father and I don't smoke, but there's an ashtray in the living room. The futon in our guest room is hers now. In the bathroom there's a toothbrush and shampoo I'd never choose to buy. I started to feel awkward about things, and that's when I started noticing at the front door when I came home from school, her perfume. I asked my father once if he was thinking about getting married to Rena-san. He looked a little embarrassed, perplexed, and confused. He told me, not yet. He knew I was hurt by the divorce. It's probably why he couldn't admit that he wanted to remarry. That's why he said, not yet. You think after experiencing what he experienced, he'd be a bit more reluctant to, get married again. I mean, starting a new relationship's taking him this long to get more comfortable with that again. But to remarry? Bit soon. He'd consider it, but not while I was still living with him. That's what he meant, I guess. There's only one reason why I don't want him to get remarried to Rena-san. I feel offended that my sanctum, my family, is being invaded. I might be being selfish, though. I know keeping my father all to myself means keeping him miserable like he was before he met Rena-san. He has a life to live too. It's his right to heal from the pain from the divorce and to live to find his new love. You wouldn't have had to go through that painful life if I'd prevented the divorce from happening in the first place. He has a right to be
and to a happy new life that lets him forget the pain he never deserved, and I don't have any right to stop him. In fact, I have an obligation to try to return his happiness to him. I have to pay for my sin, my inability to prevent his divorce. Then what should I do to make both of us happy? It wouldn't be that difficult. All I'd need to do would be to give my silent approval of the relationship. My father tells me he won't get remarried while we live together. That means I should stop leaning on my family, be strong, and live on my own as soon as I can. Although that doesn't mean I can tell him not to go out with her until that day. Rena-san comes to our house to see him despite her busy schedule, and she even stays the night whenever her shift permits. They're adults. I have no right to say anything against that. That's why I chose to give my silent approval to the relationship, and tried to see her as little as I could. I get along with Rena-san on the surface. I know my father would have a hard time keeping face if we didn't. But it's a very exhausting and painful thing to get along with a person I don't really like. So whenever Rena-san comes over, I spend as much time as possible outside, then head home late. Mei-chan's club activities are the most convenient things to do to kill time. But there are some days we don't have a club meeting. On those days, I while away my time at the garbage dump hunting for treasure alone. And that's how I started to make my secret hideout. My father can do whatever he wants with Rena-san at home. I don't have to see them together. I can spend my time peacefully at my hideouts. Sometimes feel depressed about my life. Sometimes want to talk to somebody about it. But nothing will change even if I talk to somebody. I think that's another mindset when it comes to depression, isn't it? Just kind of like, well, what good would telling someone about it? It kind of does help, actually talk to someone about it, provided they're understanding, of course. This is all I can really do. The most important thing for me should be to overcome the sadness of losing my family as fast as I could and to regain my own happiness. I have so much fun every day. I'm happy every day. Even on the way home, Keiichi-kun was talking about funny things that made me laugh. My feeling gloomy in spite of that was kind of rude. My father should be happy. I should be happy. I just feel sad because I still can't separate from my father. Compared to the unexpectedness of the divorce, Rena-san's invasion is a very slow process. I think Rena-san understands how I feel. She treats me very kindly, but she doesn't do more than that. I think she understands that I'd feel uncomfortable if she did. I respect Rena-san because she's strong even without her parents. Compared to the pain of losing both her parents unexpectedly, my problems are like nothing. I respect Satoko-chan's toughness too. She also lost her parents and was forced to live a painful life under her uncle and aunt. Compared to the cruel treatment she had to go through, my relationship with Rena-san is a blessed one. I keep feeling anxious, but that's just because I'm still immature, and because I feel like I'm not ready to separate from my father. I have to be strong like Rena-san and Satoko-chan. I have to try my best to be happy. I'm going to live with all my might, in order to regain the peace of mind that I lost that day. My assumption that I'm not happy is just a mistake. I should appreciate the wonderful days I spend with my wonderful friends. It's by realizing that I'm happy that it will shine so brightly.
Listen, it was just so cute, so I screamed, I'm taking it home with me!
I bet you did. You're an expert at making the most out of every day.
Aren't I? I feel very fortunate to have a wonderful life and wonderful friends. How could I be unhappy?
You're right, and in Mizawa nobody becomes unhappy. Everybody stays happy. Mizawa is free from misfortunes, except around the time of Watanakashi. He should have stopped right there, but he just kept going. I'm jealous of you, Rena. I wish I could be an idiotic optimist like you. Oh, if only you knew. If only you knew.
Oh, it sounds like you're insulting me. But if that's what I need to make every day wonderful, I wouldn't mind, would I?
I don't have any worries. I feel like I do, but that's just because I'm immature and still want my father's attention. Come on, say the magical words. It'll cheer you up.
Oh.
It didn't make sense to say it now, but I was gonna say it anyway, because this is my magical phrase that always cheers me up.
Oh, I'm taking it home with me.
What's wrong with you? That's so like you, but still. That's right. This is me, Rena. I'm not Rena. Rena still wants her parents' attention. Rena is a goofy and carefree girl. She knows that every day is full of happiness, and she has the kind heart to appreciate it too. I should forget about icky things. I should live a wonderful life free of anything icky. Icky starts with I. And that's why I got rid of the I in Rena. Oh, so that's how it became that. I'm Rena. I'm going to recapture the happiness I lost when I left Tsumihoroboshi. I will overcome any pain and hardships. I can be happy because I got rid of icky things. I'm sure there are only incredible things waiting for me. I wonder how it actually looks in Japanese. Like, how do they word that? E. You're not going to blah 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 blah. So I have no idea what the context was. But they definitely had E in there. The E most certainly was. Oh, incredible starts with I too. Does it? Even in Japanese, actually. Look at my dictionary. Incredible. Incredible. Is it in here? Well, probably. Incredible. 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 It doesn't start with E. Not in this dictionary, anyway. Shinjirarenai. Oh wait, that's unbelievable. Not incredible. Then why is it incredible then? Strange. How's it got it written in here? Probably use the kanji character as well, so wouldn't make a difference. Ikotomo. That's different. Let's look on the Japanese side of the dictionary. It's not even in the dictionary. I'll take your word for it, though. I was almost home, and when my house appeared, I noticed something different there. Nice little housey out there. There was a truck parked in front of my house. There was nothing on the back of it, but I can tell it brought something here, because I saw some cardboard boxes, blankets, and ropes on the ground. From the front of the house, I heard voices of two young men saying, "Well, we'll be going now." They passed by me as I walked towards the front door. They were wearing some kind of work uniforms. They looked like delivery people. My father was about to close the door when he noticed me.
Hey, I'm home. What's going on?
"Oh, Rena, I have a surprise for you." My father looked to be in a good mood. I didn't know why he was, but whenever he smiled like that, I just wanted to smile back at him. His eyes used to look like those of a dead fish, no matter how hard I tried to smile at him. But these days he could put on a big smile just to surprise me. He has been literally coming back to life since a year ago when we moved back to Nimizawa. No, since we started dating Rena-san. When I see him smile like this, I'm happy, but at the same time I feel confused because I don't know whether I should thank Rena-san or not. Look, doesn't it look great? He took me to the living room. You would probably expect me to go all "oh" and "ah." So whether there was something in the living room or not, I was ready to go "ooh" and "ah" for him.
Well, What is this? What did you do?
I tried to sound excited and surprised. He was standing behind me, probably smiling with satisfaction at hearing my excited voice. I, on the other hand, was desperately trying to understand what was going on. For a moment I thought I was in someone else's house. You see, the living room had been completely redecorated. The furniture we had was all basically from the former house in Higurashi. My parents brought most of the furniture when they got married, so it was all old and a little dirty. Some of them still had crayon scribbles I drew when I was very little, so they had some nostalgic quality to it. But all of that was gone. Everything in the living room had turned pastel color, looking very sophisticated, like the rooms you'd see in soap operas. The new carpet looked very tropical. The new curtains matched with the carpet. The new sofa looked very expensive. The living room in general looked like a resort hotel. The channel switcher of our old TV was broken, and we used to have to use pliers to change channels. But it was gone too, replaced by a new one with a big screen. Rooms had also been replaced by nicer looking ones. The living room looked like a totally different world under the new fluorescent lights.
This looks great, Dad. What made you do this?
I needed to get a fresh start. It's been a year since we moved here. I thought it was time for me to reboot and finally start a new life. I suggested redecorating the house once in order to cheer him up, because he was still in pain after the divorce. But he wasn't interested at the time. He didn't want to get rid of the old furniture he had chosen with my mother, because he still couldn't get over her, even though she cruelly broke up with him. I wanted to suggest it again when the time was right. Never thought he'd do it on his own initiative.
That was a good idea. This beautiful living room makes me feel refreshed. I love it.
I knew you would, Rena. You always wanted to have a rocket jet, didn't you? I haven't set it up yet, but look, I got it for you.
Oh, Dad, thank you. This is mine, right?
Hey, this is for everybody.
I understand, but I'm not going to get off this chair once I sit on it.
My father explained the details of his redecoration proudly. He told me that he only did the living room this time, but he's going to redecorate all of the rooms. He sure had become more active. There are some parts about the redecoration I didn't like, but I still thought it was great, because it made him happy. I found the old furniture outside in the yard.
Are you going to throw them away?
Yeah, I think we should. A delivery company is coming later to pick them up. Getting rid of the old furniture means putting an end to my mother. I hate the furniture because it smelled like my mother, and I tried to break everything once. I understand why my father wants to take this opportunity to get rid of them, but for some reason the new living room makes me feel like I no longer belong here. My father didn't choose the new furniture. Rena-san probably did. Most likely my father and Rena-san decided to redecorate the living room and went to a furniture store to buy everything. I tried to think positively. The reason why my father didn't tell me about the redecoration was because he wanted to surprise me. No, my father never really considers things that deeply. So I suppose he didn't tell me because he just didn't think he needed to tell me. I'm sure he didn't redecorate the living room to make me feel like I was no longer welcome. Don't be negative, Rena. My father didn't have any bad intentions. He doesn't want to get rid of me. He doesn't think I'm the reason he can't get remarried. And yet, why did I feel sad, looking at the old furniture in the yard? Why did I feel like I didn't belong? I realized the reason right away. That reason was me. To him, wanting to have a fresh start by getting rid of the things that reminded him of my mother might be an indication of his unconscious desire to get rid of their daughter. My father doesn't really consider things deeply, so he might not be thinking that I'm the reason he can't get remarried. But he understands that he can't get remarried while we live together. By staying with him, I'm torturing my father. It was my fault that he had to get a divorce. That's why I have to support him to help recapture his happiness. I couldn't just keep him all to myself. I'd have to start thinking about living on my own. I don't need to go to university. I should think about getting a job. But who would hire an uneducated girl like me? Even if somebody did hire me, I wouldn't be able to earn enough money to live on my own. Maybe I should think about working at a hostess club, like Rena-san does. People only choose the jobs they can. A girl like me doesn't have a lot of choices. Not a lot of companies would hire me or pay the amount of money that I need to live on my own. But, come to think of it,
Where is the place where I belong? Whenever I end up feeling like this, I miss my secret hideout in the trash piles. I'll have to get under my blanket and feel the warmth on a cold night. The hideout gets hot and humid during the day, and very cold at night. It's not a comfortable place to spend time in, but it might be the place where I can relax the most, more than I can at my house. No, I shouldn't think like this. I shouldn't think that my house was being invaded by Rena-san. I should thank her for making my father happy. Rena-san isn't trying to kick me out of the house. She's trying to get along with me, but I'm not opening my heart to her. I'm the bad one. I'm the bad one. And I'm blessed. I'm blessed. Sushikun and his aunt didn't get along at all, and she abused him for a long time. Compared to him, my situation is a lot easier. Soko-chan and Rika-chan lost their parents and they live together now. They've been through very hard times. On the other hand, I still live with my father. I should feel blessed. I shouldn't think I'm unhappy just because of these things. I am happy. I'm blessed. The trouble with me is that I still can't admit that I'm happy. My father kept talking proudly about the redecoration. I nodded at him with a big smile and let him keep at it. Oh, I almost forgot. Rena, could I ask you a favor?
Sure, what is it?
I ordered 2 jackets from the clothing store. It seems like they came in today. I have to help the delivery company pick up the furniture, so can you go get the jackets for me?
Sure, which store is it? I wonder what kind of jackets you got. I can't wait to see them.
No matter what they look like, I'm sure Rena-san picked them out for him. Although I don't mind going, I'd rather go to the store than listen to his stories about the redecoration of our living room.